Ever wished for a radio station that's got it all? Welcome to Nexxlegacy Radio, your ultimate podcast haven where fresh, new content mingles with timeless classics. Whether you're a fan of today's hits or yesterday's gems, we've got something for everyone. Tune in, kick back, and let Nexxlegacy be your audio escape. Hit that subscribe button and join the Nexxlegacy family today.
What's good, people? This is Charles, iamBranded, Madison of Nexxlegacy Radio, and I have this beautiful guest with me. Found this young lady on LinkedIn and did a little homework on her, and I'm just curious. I just want the world not only to get to know her, but also to see where she's at, not just musically and production and just everything. We want to see how this young lady actually ticks in terms of this music business, how she's anticipating herself to go as far as she can in this business. And I want to welcome Kalaya as my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's up, girl?
Hey, what's up?
What's up with you, young lady? Superstar in the making. So I got to give you props up top for it. So all is good in your world?
Yes, all is well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And before we get started with the Q&As, I appreciate you sending me over like some of your stuff to listen to and everything else. And I'm a fan of your voice. So I wanna get started by asking you, what made you want to start singing? What made you start doing what you're doing now?
Well, to summarize everything, like back when I was a child, I had a speech impairment, and I was teased a lot because of it. And it wasn't until I was 8 years old, and just out of the blue, I just started singing. And it's like, it's a surprise to me. So I was so excited that I wanted to. As soon as school was out, at the time, I was living in West Oakland, and the school I attended wasn't far from where I was living. So when I got home and shared with my mom, and she was like, wow. And that's when, I wanted to start singing and just, share the world of my voice.
Hey, that's what's up. And I gotta ask you this because what you just said. So you went from like I'm assuming barely not speaking to like 8 years old, just started blowing, right, as far as singing and all that good stuff. So what song was it, or what was it about a specific music moment that you could share that triggered you to be like, oh, I love this?
Well, like most of my life, I was raised in the church, and so I grew up listening to artists like Donna Lawrence, the Clark Sisters, especially Sam Cooke. At the time when my mom was married, my stepdad at the time, that's all he played, Sam Cooke. Especially when Sam Cooke was singing gospel, and you know what, like my stepdad at the time voice, like it sounds very similar to Sam Cooke. It's like it's like he was the Sam Cooke reincarnated. And
wow.
Like pretty much every Sunday, well, almost every Sunday, when he called to perform, he sings one of Sam Cooke's songs, I would say those are the main artists I grew up as a child. Of course, as I got older, I did expand a bit, like with R&B, neo soul, jazz. And also a little of rock, but mostly it's R&B, neo soul, jazz.
Okay. I mean, I feel like, especially if you grew up in the church and you heard, I mean, it's a deep cut that a lot of people didn't know that Sam Cooke actually sung gospel music. So I love that you threw that out there because you have to be a true fan to really know what time it is when it comes to that. But deeper than that, though, I love the range that you say that you have. Like, you know, to me as a musician, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to have a different ear for a lot of different sounds, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I think it's true to any artist or anybody who's a fan of music to just like want to hear from different things, you know, and not just center themselves on just a specific genre when it comes to music. So, all right, so we had Sam Cooke in the household. We had, you know, Stepdad Reincarnated. It was all in your house, right? So here you are right now trying to be able to kind of put a footnote with your talents into a very crowded arena in this music industry. How are you feeling about your moves as of right now, and what do you feel like you have to do in order for you to continue to just keep putting your brand of music out there for the people?
You know, before I answer this, pretty much throughout the years, I have collabed and did background vocals for artists. I was featured with Ramon Curtis. He's also known as Asian Man, from the rec group he used to be in, 3 Times Crazy. Now he's you know him.
That's my guy.
Yeah, so I featured a song with him, just to name one. So just throughout the years, I had collabed or did background vocals for artists, but I never yet, which is coming, I never yet did my own thing. If you catch my drift, like I have my own album or single,
right?
Per se, and you know, it's just time for me to branch out and show the world who I am and the message I bring.
I think that's important too, from, like you mentioned, the collabs to just like helping other artists with their song or single or whatever, for you to kind of do your own thing. So your own thing is going to consist of what? You doing a lot of writing, you having more control over the production side. Like, tell us a little bit more about just your overall battle plan for getting your brand. You're doing this for the very first time, I'm assuming, right? Like, this is you on full display, never done before. So, you know, how are you managing your day-to-day with everything that's you know, asked of you?
Yeah, so doing my own thing, in terms of definitely writing, because I am a songwriter, and I've been writing ever since, like for a long time, and you know, like and I will add like production into my list. I have visited LA, and you know, of course, like going there, there's opportunities for us as musicians and singers and whatnot. And you know, I am planning on going back to LA this time for a long period of time, going to school out there for music production, because I know I have an ear for as a producer.
I just think that it's cool to be able to get you right at the beginning stages of you changing your path in regards to music, because it's always cool to be able to see somebody's fresh perspective about the game, like where you were right now, collabing with other folks, and now doing some of the things on your own. Now, do you feel like, you know, with collabs with others, do you feel like writing is going to change your process in terms of how you get your solo project out, or it's just basically just status quo? This is what I'm gifted to do. I could just write for myself and whoever.
Yeah, definitely writing for myself along with writing for others. I do have songs that I have written that I do not mind like give to.
Right.
And and that's for the songs that I had written for myself, and the upcoming songs that I'm about to write, that's gonna be for me and stuff. So.
Right on. No, that's cool. That's super cool to hear. Just 'cause, I mean, I just like passionate people about what they do and how they go about doing it. To me, it's dope to watch the evolution of what you're about to become, because I know it's a grind. I know everybody out there trying to be able to have, a certain brand. The stuff that I heard from you thus far, go with me where I say this, where you don't sound like somebody else. You sound like yourself. You don't come off as a carbon copy of whoever. And I love that about you so far, because you're not taking something from someone. You're taking your own style. So do you go into, like, your writing and just be like, you know what, I'm going to make this all about me, and I'm going to give the people the best me I can be?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Make no mistake, certain artists that, not just me, but just anyone, look up to, it is going to have some kind of influence.
Yeah.
But and that influence can motivate you to become the better version of you.
Right.
And so yeah. So most definitely, whenever I'm writing, I'm giving my all, and so people could listen to the lyrics, listen to the message, and fall in love with the song. As I do, and it's like it starts with you anyway, because if you are in love with the song, then the world is going to feel the same way, because you believe in yourself, you love the song, so guess what? Everybody else is going to feel it too.
That's dope, and that's what makes you have a great personality attached to your talent, girl. That's what's up. Claire's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and that's big to me. So, I mean, as you write, are you writing based off emotion? Like, you know what, I'm feeling real romantic today or tonight. I'm gonna put this down on that level. Or if I'm feeling real spiritual, I feel like I got a gospel song in me. Or do you just kind of have a concept and just kind of float with whatever it is you got going on? Do you have to be in a certain mood, I guess I should ask?
I mean, it's a combination of both, but most of all, it's really based on experience of what I have gone through thus far, and how I overcome throughout all the obstacles, the trials and tribulations, and just want to pretty much share my testimony.
I feel it. What are some of those obstacles, though? Because the arena is hot, right? There's, everybody and their mama want to be somebody in regards to being out in this business, and it's very crowded, as I mentioned before. So what are some of the obstacles that you have faced so far in this business?
I would say in my teenage years and also my early years as an adult, just dealing with depression and having suicidal thoughts. It wasn't once upon a time I didn't believe in myself at all. Like, that was one of the lowest part of my life, and just surrounded with family and the friends I do have believe in me, but most of all, having the strength to overcome that mindset is why I didn't give up, I didn't give in, and I'm still here.
Wow, that's heavy. Just because I know a lot of people like yourself. I mean, I feel like there's certain parts of who we are as we grow and get older. I don't even want to say older. I want to say more like mature. As we evolve into who we want to be, we're gonna face those demons, right? We're gonna doubt ourselves. We're gonna doubt other people. The trust is gonna be low. The trust in ourselves is gonna be low. But at the end of it all, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm starting to feel it when it comes to me talking to you. I just think overall, like, you're starting to feel like, you know what, I could do this. Like, I could trust myself a little bit more. The trust around your circle is a little different. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. But I'm like, you know what, if I have to bet on me, I'm good because I got me at the end of the day, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing, especially in this business. I could tell you, like, to me, you and I will stay connected, and we'll definitely, share stories and support. But I could tell you off top, like, anytime that, I try to interview people, and I've interviewed people over the last 17, 18 years, from celebrities to, whoever else. One thing is for certain is I want to take a piece of who you are and magnify it and show you that there is like a level up to become who you want to be. And that's just partnering up with the right kind of people too. So let me ask you about that. Like, I think in this business, you need as many people who are not just yes people, but people who can really hit you with like some honest game about life and music and business and stuff like that. Are you starting to surround yourself with some of those people?
I am surrounded with people who also have a business mindset when it comes to the entertainment industry overall. I have plans that is in the process of a talent show I want to do for the Bay Area because like right now how it is now versus how it used to be. I just want to bring that part, bring that light, of the Bay Area how it was back, if not better. And oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm with you now. Like you just triggered something just because you are not from the Bay. We know what time it is. We got memories on memories when it comes to us being free with our creativity and our growth when it comes to music and just putting it on a platform where everybody was full on support. Now it just feels different. It feels like you said that, the Bay and California, whoever needs a shot in the arm of just something more, something positive, something long-lasting, something where people could leave as a legacy. So I'm bouncing off of that. Just you know where I'm coming from with that. We both from the same cloth.
Right.
That's important. Kalaya is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and you kind of touched on just your passion for what you want to bring to the table. What about, we talked about the challenges. What about some of the good things that you've kind of seen so far in this journey of music that you've taken yourself on?
The good things so far, I would say that's actually a good question. The good things I could say so far, it comes from within. There's a scripture that talks about the kingdom of God is within you, and people tend to forget that everything is spiritual first, and then after it's the physical material.
Yep.
And like there's another scripture that mentions how life and death are in the power of the tongue. And it, like when you believe what you're going to do, you have to speak it to it. You have to speak it to the atmosphere,
Yep.
and believe that power that the Most High has given you as a creator to your destiny. And so, I would say that's the good thing about it. The spiritual aspect, like realizing that that you were created as a creator, and you are in control of your destiny, and it's up to you to believe or to just remain stuck.
Right. Yeah, that's game right there. And also, I'm gonna add on to what you're saying as well, because I always look at it as, I always feel like we are put here to serve as well, and how we serve could also mean, like, you know what, I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm gonna light something in you right now that maybe you didn't have or whatever that triggers you. You know how we talked about music and it was a song that may have triggered you, or Sam Cooke, or any of the songs that took place during your childhood, right? That triggered you to be who you are right now. Like, there's certain things that could still happen, like full on to this day, where people pay it forward. Like, that's what my business is all about. That's why, to me, because music, I always felt like I was in it to win it with music from the womb, right? So if I'm doing something, I have to find some way to be able to pay it back to the people that either inspired me or the people that's inspiring me right now at this point in time with what they do, right? So I always look at it like that, and that's super deep. But, from you, it sounds like you got a full-on grasp as far as what you want to do and become. So what's up with you as far as, you told me you're working on, like, your solo stuff, like, what can we expect to hear from you, not just this year, but moving forward?
When? Oh, man. That is to be announced. I will definitely, I will definitely let you know when. Just briefly, I had dealt with health issues, and I'm still recovering a bit, but all is getting better. So so the answer would be is to be announced.
Okay. And you know what? That's why it's important for people out there to keep checking for you too. And and I'll ask your social media stuff and where people can find you and all that good stuff shortly. But I think it's important to hype up, get people to know and understand your flow, who you are, what you want to be. And, like, look, if you want music from me this coming up soon, I can give you little drops of who I am through social media, but you about to get something bigger than that. So, I always feel like that. In addition to what you mentioned as far as, specific artists, from Sam Cooke and all, what are some other artists that inspires you to be, motivated to do this thing called music as well? Is there others?
So from jazz, definitely my two favorite jazz singers is Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. I actually portrayed Ella Fitzgerald back in 2009 in a play at Laney College by the name Celestial Celebration, and shout out to the director James Brooks. He was the director of that play, so shout out to him. So yeah, Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. In terms of R&B, oh wow, I would say Emily King. I love her music, and SZA, Jasmine Sullivan. Who else? Molly Music. I mean, he does R&B, but he also does gospel too. But yeah, Molly Music. Wow. Who else? Who else I can think of? It's just a variety of people. D'Angelo, Jill Scott. Wow.
Hey.
Yeah. You know what? That's all I can think of. But yeah. Those are the artists I can think of right now.
No, that's a heavy lineup right there as far as people that has motivated you. And like I said, to me, I love the diversity that you carry with you in regards to like the people that you could feel during music and stuff like that too. So that's always deep. So aside from music, and I know you're pouring a lot of your time and attention and your passion that way, is there any other outside, I know you mentioned production and you write as well. So I'm gonna ask you a weird question in regards to all of them. So from producing to writing to singing, what's your first, second, and third favorites when it comes to that? What's your number one, your number two, and your number three?
Okay, I would say my number one is songwriting. Number two, number two singing, and number three, producing.
Okay, all right, respect that. And I know all the people out there that has listened to me over the years know, and I'm gonna tell this young lady also, especially from everything that you mentioned right there, from not just singing but writing and producing. You know how people make 3-4 minute tracks on occasion, right? It doesn't take people, just some people out there who may not know. It doesn't take 4 minutes to do a track. You might work on a song that might take a day or two or a week or two or longer, right? So a lot of people out there have to learn, understand, like it's not just something that you can go ahead and do and just bam, I can go ahead and get it done. Because even when you lay down your vocals, you still got to mix it. You still got to add dubs if you need to, and you still got to put some finishing touches on certain things too. So, just kind of remind the people. I know I said it already, but just your thoughts on it, because I know a lot of people miss the boat and just think that, this track was only 3 minutes, so it only took you 3 minutes to make. Hell no.
Absolutely not. The time frame you mentioned is exactly that. Because because you may have verse 1 packed down, or you even have the chorus packed down, but all the other stuff, you really have to brainstorm and everything, and and it may just take a day to finish the song, or it may take longer, as you mentioned, 2 days, a week.
Right.
2 weeks and whatnot. So when it comes to songwriting, you really have to be in tune and focused, and no distraction whatsoever.
Yep. Even on the production too, because you can run a track back. You can run. I mean, not saying that because I dabble in music and all that stuff too. But even as you produce stuff, you could still hear something either in the vocals or in a specific beat where you're like, damn, we might have to do this all over again. Just on one flaw or one little whatever. Or some people are real big on imperfections and they'll just let it ride. You know what I'm saying? So, it depends on the producer. It depends on the moment. It depends on the track. But I've heard it from I've heard flaws in even power producers like Dre and them. You know what I mean? So it's we've heard it, but also a lot of people don't understand that it takes a lot to be able to make a track and a record and things like that. So Kalaya is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and with all that, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, and one clearly is going to be this. You and I grew up, we're Bay Area folks, so give me if you have it, top 5 that you can think of off the top of your head, Bay Area artists that is legendary in your mind?
Oh, okay. Well, the first two, without a doubt, is Too Short and E40.
All right.
That's the first two. The third I can think of is MC Hammer. Okay, and the fourth I can think of is In Vogue. And and speaking of In Vogue, I will never forget the field trip back in high school. I went with my classmate, and we met one of the members in Vogue.
Yeah. You remember which one?
Oh my gosh. Oh no, I forgot her name. It's like her face. I'm looking at her face, but the name I can't. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so sorry.
Nah, you good. I'm gonna have to give you a link to one of the interviews I had with a couple of them, so so you can be able to run it back, because maybe listening to her voice be like, oh, that might have been Maxine, or that might have been Dawn, or something like that. So I'll hit you up with it. But nah, that's a lineup right there. And a lot of people forget In Vogue is from the Bay, so represent.
Right, exactly.
Represent.
Yeah.
I got that right.
Oh yeah. And fifth and final one, Guapale.
Guapale, that's my girl. My girl. Yeah, seeing her perform is amazing. Like, I saw her at Yoshi's a couple times, so she is definitely dope in her own right as well. And one last question is really a random question. I know we talked about Bay music and your music and everything else, so I'm going to bottle everything up and ask you, out of all the decades of music, what's your best decade of music?
Man, my the best one is I would have to say the 90s and 2000 era.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 90s is the decade of choice. Why?
Because make no mistake. No matter the era, because you know how your parents and grandparents are. Like, back in my day, we never heard such lyrics, but when you go back and listen to some of the songs, like, it did exist even back then. So so no matter what era you're gonna have some explicit songs. But the thing with the 90s, it was just the artists that time really show really show how authentic they were. Like, you can tell, like, when they sing from the soul.
Oh yeah.
Like it came across that whatever idea and plan they want to put in that song, it actually came out, and people see it and could tell that it's all them, and no one else telling them, like, hey, do this, do that. Like, no, they were able to be creative.
What's brought though, dear, is this, like, you mentioned that, and I'm also throw in that you had a bunch of groups, right? You had, from Jodeci to Jagged Edge to New Edition was still rocking then. Like, you had so many guy groups, girl groups just winning. Everybody didn't sound the same. They were all different. Like, I feel like the 90s was a decade of diversity too. Like, you had so many different people from so many different walks of genres of music that we had that was just, they were all lit, all of them, every single. Hey, and then our Bay Area music, it was lit back then too in the 90s, definitely.
Yeah, that's a fact. No, no lie at all.
That's real. That is real. No, I love it. I love it. No, I've always had like a soft spot for the '90s music. One of my best decades to me is the '80s, just because the apex of hip hop. Like everything was winning from all the genres. Like you could listen to light rock and still be cool. You could listen to pop and be good. You could do a lot with that decade of night. Oh, and this movie soundtrack to the '80s was popping too, right? So, you know what I mean? There was a whole bunch of things going on in the '90s that was super bad to me that I was like, yo, this is it right here. Like the decade though, like crazy. Michael Jackson, need I say more? Thriller, MTV, like that was
I
a
mean,
whole
that's true.
that was a whole crazy decade of like music dominance, in my opinion. So yeah, but the '80s and '90s, those are like 2 decades of just memorable stuff. You know what I mean? So Kalaya is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and I want you to give the people your social media information. How can they find you? Where can they hear some pre-work before you get the real good work in? Where can they hit you up at?
Um, okay, I'm gonna be 100. I'm taking a break from Facebook, so
Okay.
I do have a Facebook, but I'm taking a break from Facebook. But the two, I mean, well, the three platforms you can find me is Instagram, um, um, at iam_Kalaya _. TikTok, um, my TikTok username is I am_Kalaya, and you can find me on YouTube as well, with my username. Uh, with my username also the same as TikTok, I am_Kalaya, and I have my artist name Kalaya. It's all in the letters. It's all spaced out. It's not together. It's all spaced out. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Kalaya, I commend you for taking a break on Facebook. And just to, keep it true and transparent, like I had Instagram, Facebook, what is it, Twitter, X, or whatever it is. I had to get rid of it just because I just needed to get away from like what's been kind of keeping me constrained, right? Like and I'm all over YouTube. I have TikTok and I'm on Blue Sky, and I've narrowed down some of the stuff that I needed to do with social media because it was I don't know about you, but it was starting to be a damn distraction, right? So I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, let me be on these spots less and just focus on what I need to focus on and stuff. And it's paying off. You know what I'm saying? So, and LinkedIn, like people can find us there as well. So,
Oh yeah, of course.
But no, I feel you for just knowing when to kind of cut the cord too when it comes to that, right? So, that's super cool. So, any final shout-outs, anything that you want to tell new listeners, people that all that good stuff, the floor is yours.
Yeah, like, let me give a shout-out to my business partner, Tyra. Like, you are such a sweetheart. Like, I'm truly glad that you are in my life, and I'm looking forward what we're about to do. Shout out to brother iamBranded and his daughter. Like, they're the reason why I gain more confidence in myself, and just them believing the talent I have, and what I want to share to the world. Like, I truly appreciate them. Like, his daughter, her name is Sundiata. We had a photo shoot, and it was fun. It's just that itself, like her taking her time to do a photo, to take pictures of me, and so it just lets me know how much people that you just met will support you and whatnot. And also, she's a phenomenal actress. So yeah, definitely get a look out of her. Once again, her name is Sundiata iamBranded, and that is Brother iamBranded's daughter. So definitely a shout out to them. Also, shout out to I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So the last two I want to mention is Ramen Jamal and Lonnie. My other business partners. Shout out to them and their in their business Hip Hop Congress. So definitely get a look out for them. You know, just for them to come and listening to the ideas of what I would like to do in terms of a talent show, and for them who want to partner with me, it's truly awesome, and I truly appreciate them taking the time to teach me the ropes how to run a business, especially in the entertainment industry. And last person I want to get a shout out to is Terrence Hudson and his wife. Terrence Hudson, he just came out of the blue when I was on Facebook, and he didn't know that I sang. He just saw my picture and wanted to introduce me and tell me about his business and what he do, which deals with music as well, especially the business side of music and whatnot, helping people to start their own record company and stuff. And that's at the name of his business. It's called Music Biz Doc, and okay. And he resides in Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, that's what he do. He help independent artists to create an LLC, to have their own record company. So they are owners of everything. They own creativity. You don't have to worry about selling your soul and whatnot. So yeah, that's what he do. So huge shout out to him and his wife, his family. Just beautiful people all around.
That's big. That's big. When you have some people in your stable that is down to support you unconditionally, then that just makes everything free and fulfilling when it comes to putting out work or doing something that you are proud of, and they're not just supporting you but giving you that feedback that will encourage everybody. You could all, and this because you're a business lady, right? So you could always go through life and know that I'm gonna do it the best way I can. But it's also good to be able to feel that and get that appreciation from someone who really and genuinely gives a damn about your progression, right? That's, to me, that's big. That is big, and that could come in different waves of how people really feel. And again, it's just like I mentioned, you can go through life with this, showing that support, and that's big news, right? So, I love that shout out. And in closing, you got a supporter out here. As far as you can continue to do homework on this radio station and me and see how I get down. But I would love to be a part of some of the things that you want to do to be positive, to, have these shows do fundraisers, do something, have a mixer, have a this, have a that, just so we can be able to put good positive energy out there to the world, but also support each other in the process. So I'm looking forward to a future of getting to know and grow, because I think, everybody needs everybody to be, ready to take on the world. You know what I'm saying? So you got a supporter in me. So, new singles, new music, you'll get that on rotation. And then coming back doing interviews is nothing. But I appreciate you for not just taking the time out to hang out with me, but just to, still keep that motivation of music rolling, right? Because music is a powerful thing. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't understand how deep and how important that music is and still can be. So, I appreciate you for all of it.
I truly appreciate your support, and you definitely have my support as well. Like, I look you up and see what you do, and I truly, you definitely have my support.
Well, then let's go, girl. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. Hey, continue to do what you do. I'm going to follow you on the YouTube and all that stuff that you got going on, with the exception of stuff I don't have right now. But I'll make sure I get you. But thank you for just being you. And you motivate, trust me. Once I got you locked in and we was about to do this thing, like going through your stuff, I'm like, okay, this girl gave me an extra little something, you know what I mean? So I'm motivated. So I appreciate everything that you continue to do, and keep the fight up. And I'm here if you need anything. You need promotion, you need this, you need that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Proud of you.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.